Okay, welcome back. Now we are going to start a new topic here. When I say new topic, we will continue from what we have been doing until now, but we will start with a new data set. So let's get this amazing March sales data. This is a kind of a famous data set out there. You'll see it in lots of places. So, okay, so there's two sheets in these, so select both of them, and then say transform data. Okay, we want to make sure that the column types are correctly identified. So ABC, remember that was for categorical type or text type, so that looks good. Order ID, there's the order date, which is date type, again, that's good. Customer name, city, country, region, segment. These are all text values. Ship date is another date column. Ship mode is text, so is date. Latitude and longitude is the location of the city. It's a decimal point value, which is shown as 1.2 here, which also looks good. So list of orders is okay. Order breakdown, ABC, text for order ID, text for product name, 1.2. So discount is a decimal point value, floating value. 1.123, that's for integer or discrete values. So sales, profit, quantity are all integer values, which is good. Category, subcategory is both ABC, which is text type, which is good. I'm satisfied with this. Let's close and apply. Let's get the data in. Okay, perfect. Okay, I was wondering something. Anyway, that's okay. So, okay, so where's the data? The data is over here, right? We have the tables, we have the order breakdown. Okay, two tables, you can see them here as well. Now let's first understand the data. So list of orders, let's order by the order ID column. You see each row represents a specific unique order. That's why each row will have their own order ID. And then we can see some information regarding that order, like the order date and the shipping date there, the customer name who made this order, the city they are living in, the country, the state they are living in over here. This lat long is the lat long of the city. And then the segment is what kind of a customer they are. Are they a regular normal customer, a corporate customer, or a home office? Okay, so that's some information about the orders, but we do not know what they bought. Okay, how much they paid and how much profit was made from the sale. We don't know. That's in the other table. That's in the order breakdown table. So here we also have order ID and we have the product name. So what did they buy in that order? If a discount was applied, it will be shown here, the sales. So that means how much in total, how much was that those items sold for. So for example, 3 items were sold for 140 dollars. Let's assume this is dollars, and the profit was 21. So $21 profit on a $140 sale for 3 items. And this is part of category office supplies, and the subcategory is art. Now, if I click order ID and if I say sort ascending, you will see that some orders, right? There is 2 rows for the same order. You see this first 2 is for the same order, which is 1029887. There is 2 different items in the same order. The third row there, 107716, is another order. There's only a single item in that order. 1087704, there's 3 lines. You see, there's 3 lines for that order. Let's zoom in a bit there. Yeah, there's 3 lines for that order. 1087704. The customer bought 3 different items in that specific order there, and you can see on the right how much they paid and the profit, etc. If you continue 1114253, it's a Nokia something there, so that's a single item being bought by the customer. Right, and then you can continue like this. So basically, what does this mean? This means in an order there can be 1 item or more. sometimes two, sometimes three. There could be even rows where there's a lot more items, like you see this one down here. There's like 5, 6 orders, items there in that specific order there. So order is a single row, with both, order is made by a specific customer, but then in an order, there will be several, more than one or more, sorry, one or more items will be present in an order, right? So, and these two tables are related to each other, right? There's this order ID column, right? In both tables, so where's that? So both tables have order ID column. So we can relate them, like think about this in terms of SQL databases, like, we can do inner join, left join, right join, or we can do all those kind of things. Now, what makes sense here? Well, a left join makes sense, where the left table is the order breakdown and the right table is list of orders, right? So that will be a left join there. So how is it represented in Power BI? Well, if you come here, you see it already kind of sensed what's going on. It find out that, okay, there's a relation between these tables. And the relationship is based on, let's double click that line there, is based on the order ID column. You see, it basically established that connection. Furthermore, you see a star there right next to the order breakdown table, and you see a number 1 there next to the list of orders table. So this is what we call many to one relationship. So many is star, one is just one. So what does it mean? Many, because order breakdown, remember there was each row represents an item being bought in the order. So there can be several rows there, several items belonging to the same order. So there will be several of them. So that's why it's many, one or more basically. And then on the orders table, there is basically each time there's a single row represent a single separate order. So there can be only one order. So that's why this is one. Okay. So that's why this is called many to one relationship. There can be many items, more than one or more items that's within the order breakdown table that are present in a single order. So that's present in the list of orders table. Okay, many to one. So basically this is like a left join if you think about it, but Power BI doesn't use that term. It doesn't use left join, right join, inner join. It uses this many to one, one to many, one to one, and many to many relationship. And you can see that termed here under cardinality. So there's many to one, one to one, one to many to many. So in this case, it's many to one. Okay. So we don't need to change anything. If we realize some error there, we could interfere, but basically Power BI again did a good job in terms of identifying both the relationship correctly and also the column, the key column that we're going to use to join these two tables correctly. So right now they are related. They are so kind of, it will not kind of join them together and then create a single table. Okay, it will not do that. But it will now, since it has established this connection, it will know this connection from now on. And basically, although those two tables, you see if you go back here, are still present in our environment, they are related to each other. And this will be very useful because we will now be able to make use of this relationship to create more in-depth figures. Okay. First thing first, we have already seen how to create maps, but just a quick thing. So if you put, click Azure Maps there, we have country name, right? So we can put it here. So we can see the countries present in the data. Okay, so all this data is coming from Europe. You can see that only European countries have been highlighted here with basically that bubble in the middle of the country there. So the data is coming from Europe. Okay, all good. Let's delete this one. Here we're going to do something else. We have information about the country that the customer is in. We have information about the city they live in, and we also have information about the state they live in. So we will create a hierarchy, just like Power BI automatically creates this date hierarchy here. You see that date hierarchy, year, quarter, month, day. We will create the same thing with location. So we will click right. Okay, select basically country, right click, and then create hierarchy. So you see it creates this country hierarchy. And if you click on the arrow next to it, it will open up. We only have country right now. So let's add state to it. So you should think about which is the highest level and then what next and then what next. So country is at the highest level. Then we have state at the next level. So add to hierarchy, state. Okay, you see state is added to this hierarchy there. City, right click, add to hierarchy, country hierarchy. So we have country, state, and city. We have created a nice hierarchy here. I will also change the name from country hierarchy to, you can keep it if you want. Just like here, we have called this date hierarchy there, right? You see it's called date hierarchy in Power BI. Country hierarchy, I was thinking of renaming it to maybe location, or geography. You know what I will do? I will call this location hierarchy. Okay. Yeah, I think that makes sense. So location hierarchy for which contains country, state, and city. Now, if I click this map, the Azure Map button, if I put location hierarchy into this location, okay, you see I'm getting the same map, but I can do more now. Because since I've got this hierarchy, I can use this drilling down feature so we can explore more. Okay, so we can either go with switch to next level or expand to next level. So let's see what each one does. Again, you see I put into this location the country, state, and city. All right. So if I switch to next level, so what's the next level? Well, the next level is the state. So you can see all those blue bubbles are the states within the countries present in the state set. When you switch to next level, it will basically disregard the upper hierarchy information. So right now it doesn't look at the country at all. It only looks at the states in the dataset, which means in SQL terms, the grouping by is happening based on the state. Okay, group by state. So no regard, no consideration of country at all. Again, click this, switch to next level one more. By the way, this button here, this double arrow down is the same thing of switch to next level. So click this or that one, doesn't matter. It will go to the city level. So we are down now at this city level here. Okay. Or if you focus on this one here, so we are down at the city level there. So basically, it doesn't now consider country, it doesn't consider state, it only considers city. So the grouping by is based on the city. Okay, all good. We see lots of cities within Europe. Let's zoom in a bit. You see there's lots of countries in Europe. That's good. But then what about all these countries in United States, in Brazil, in South America? There is even cities in Australia. And we know they were not showing up before, and we also know from the data it's all from Europe. So why these cities happening here being shown on this map? Well, when you switch to the next level, right, it does not consider the upper hierarchical information anymore. So here we're at the city level, it does not consider country, it does not consider state, so it does not keep track of that information. So if there are countries in Europe, okay, if there are cities in Europe, and in other parts of the world, if there are cities with the same name as those European cities in the data set, well, they will be shown as well. Because again, this map here, when it plots this, right, it only looks at the city name. That's it. And you can find many cities like the one. So let's see here. I mean, if you look around this map, you can basically click on where it's showing up. Okay, there's a Derby there. There's a Washington there. Yeah, this Derby over here. Okay. And again, this depends on the database that this Azure map is using. Okay. I know there is another Derby in Kansas, just south of Wichita over here. You see this Derby. But it seems like this city is not present in the database that this Azure map is using. So that's why it didn't show a blue dot there. Okay. So if it was present, it would have shown it. So apparently that's not there. But there's apparently a lot of derbies going on. Stamford, yeah, and I think this is what, Connecticut. Somewhere here next to New Haven. There's a derby there. Now I'm pretty sure there's a derby in England as well. So let's see if I can directly find it by it's a bit going to be hard here. Oh yeah, there you go. There's a derby right there. Okay. And there might be some other derbies around here in this country too. Okay. So you can investigate this and find other cities yourself. Worcester, which is this one? Taunton. Yeah, I don't know. But basically, these cities that have been highlighted in other parts of the world are because they have the same names of these European city names. So in a map mode, this switching to the next level probably is not what you want to do because you want to keep the track of the country, state level, and so on. So we are back at the highest level country. Now, if I use expand next level, this one, okay, this one, or this one over here. Okay, let me zoom there a bit. So that one over there with, it's basically still two arrow down, but it keeps basically like expands. So you see, it's not like switching to the next level right away. It keeps track of what's above it. So if I click on this one, we are now at state level, but it still keeps track of the country information. So country and state. Okay, so the grouping by is happening based on both the country and the state. And again, if I click either on this button or come here, expand next level, same thing. So you see, when I go to city level, none of the other cities in the world have been highlighted anymore. It's only Europe because the state is coming from Europe. And now we are in good mode because this is the correct way to do it. So we are at the city level, but it keeps track of country and the state that the city falls in. So the grouping by is happening at the country and state and city level. Okay, if you think of in terms of SQL or databases, basically we are grouping by country and state and city. So now this is good. So after this, we are basically going to add numeric values to this figure, and we will be in good shape now because this is the correct way to make use of this drilling here using the expand next level. Okay. So that's it for now, and thank you.